Hello, I'm Emma. Welcome to week 4. Our art club takeaways are going so well. It's been so brilliant to see everything you've made. Thank you so much for sharing. Those black and white patterns, all the different shapes and spaces between them was really inspiring. Thank you. So, what have we got this week? Let me have one sip. In case you haven't figured this out already, we're kind of looking at weaving. Now, weaving is a very simple process which basically involves something to hold either a set of holes or a set of perhaps elastic bands or perhaps a set of slices in going in one direction. And what we're going to do is we're going to weave something else in the opposite direction. It's that simple. And basically, the way that you do it is to go either in and out and in and out, or over and under, over and under. And then the next time, if you started over and gone under, the next time you start under and go over. So you kind of do one layer in one and one layer in the other, like the wibbles. Let me show you what I mean. Very simply, because of course, if you want to change it up, if you want to do something completely different, if you want to make them all the same direction, if you want to wrap around the edges, if you want to tie knots or hang things, of course, as always, it's totally up to you. So let me just give you a few little ideas, which I hope that you can absolutely run with. You've got a piece of card, and I've put my elastic bands around it. But before you do, have you got any colours, pens, paint? Might you want to make this board less white? You could stick some pieces of magazine or paper or cut up some old paintings and stick them on. Anything perhaps to make this less boring, bland, white, plain. You choose your words. Maybe you like it white. Maybe you think you might not be able to see so much by the time you've put lots of things on it. That's also true. So I've put these bands on. I'm going to show you how it's very simple to make it in and out and in and out. Now, what should I use? Okay, I've got some bits of fabric. Now, if I start with this first one closest to me and I pull the band and I put it under, can you see? So the next time, if I pull a little bit and then I go over the top of this one, so then the next one I'm going to go under is that one. So can you see? I'm going to pull it up. I've gone under, over, under. Then this one I'm going to go over and then under the next one and pull it along. So that's the beginning. You can see. Now I've got quite a lot. If I wanted to, I could cut it. I could fold it over and go on the other side. Remember, there are two sides here. So I've gone over this one and I might go under it now to start off, to go on the other side and carry that on around, pulling up the elastic band, every other one underneath. Can you see how, well, I've sort of made the beginning. Might go back under just to hold it. How about that? Now, you can add extras. Got another blue one. Maybe I'll cut that. Got big scissors today. So if I cut that, what I mean is we started going under the first one. So now we're going to go over the first one and under the second one. It's a little bit of a fiddle. You've got to, when you're flat on the table, you'll find this a bit easier. Again, pull over this one and under that one. Over and under. So can you see the pattern that's created, that you can see every other elastic band? Now, you've got a base. On top of here, there are lots of other things you could put. Now, this is where you can start to play with what goes on. Are you going to decide to continue in the same spaces? Might you want to, what else have I got? Might you want to go between here and there? Start layering up. Could you find ways to put different things in to build up? What else might tuck underneath? You've got lots of leaves. I was really interested in this idea of a kind of a natural set of materials. So of course, these aren't natural. These are all plastic or fake ones. They're recycled ones. So something that I've been able to use again from a florist who was making lots of big decorations. She offered me all her extra leaves, which I thought was a really exciting thing to be able to offer. If you wanted to, you could go out for a walk. Maybe you've got a garden and you could find some things in your garden that you would be able to use. Think about it. There are lots of different things available. Look at the sizes and the textures of things, the different colours of green. So, even these 3 leaves that I've got, even that, they're all different. And you can see how even together that creates a really interesting set of shades of green. So, might I add some leaves? Now I can tuck just very simply. It starts to build up. Or perhaps I can add it in a more complicated way, looking for ways to go in and out. So obviously the more they go under, the stronger they will be held. Begins to make it a bit more 3D. It's more interesting. Can you try to go this way? I wonder, could you go in and out of some of the things that you've laid on? Do you see? How is it going to be able to build up? Of course, you've got other things you could use as the background. In weaving, it's often called a loom. This is somewhere that you do your weaving on. Often it's already set up for you. Or like this one, you can make it with your elastic bands. Will you hang it up? Once you've made it, will you decide that perhaps you could do something interesting to the background? Maybe if you cut a few. Got very big scissors and it's quite difficult to hold them. Maybe you could make some tassel the ends by doing a bit of fringing, cutting up. You could tie some knots perhaps. Practice with all the different things, the different ways that you can do it. Of course, there are other ways that I've given you. This is good for paper, but it's also good for ribbon or cardboard. Have you got anything at home? Any old little bits of wrapping paper or even shiny pieces from sweet wrappers? Easter eggs? Are we too early for Easter eggs? Depends when you're watching this. What else have you got? You've got some old pictures that you might want to cut into strips and perhaps use those to go in and out and in and out. So remember, the good thing about all of these materials is if I change my mind or I've taken my photo of something I've made, I can take it all out and start again. Maybe even use this board or this board for something totally different. Of course, as always, it is absolutely up to you. The idea of weaving is over and under and over and under. So what can you do with that? Can you play? Can you decide? Can you add in extra things? I wonder. Maybe you've an idea to make it something totally different. I do like looking through things. I have another video because I have a Craft a Noon box that's all about weaving. If you have a search, you will be able to find the weave box video. And on there, I've given you some ideas of how to make a pom-pom. I've given you some ideas of how to tie knots. In case you need to remember how to do these things, it might be worth watching that video. Maybe you already know. Maybe you don't need me at all. Anyway, I very much look forward to seeing what you've made and to seeing how you take the idea of weaving and run with it in your own way. Is there anyone else you can show? Can you make a little exhibition somewhere in your house? Have you got a space to hang something? Could you send somebody a photo, a little Zoom call or a video call, just to share how you did it and what you've learned? I'm sure there's somebody who you don't get to see very often who would be really interested to know. I would be interested to know too, so keep letting me know. I really appreciate it. And thanks for joining me. Enjoy playing with weaving, and I'll see you next week.